With the release of Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 12, Victory and Death, many of us asked the question, what is the icy moon that Darth Vader found Ahsoka's lightsaber on? Was this a known location in the galaxy, or is this a place that we've never seen before? I'm going to break down every single possibility for the location of this icy moon, including some interesting theories related to the original trilogy. So before we dive deep into it, remember to subscribe to the channel to be notified as soon as I release more incredible Star Wars content. Leave a like and a comment down below if you want me to make a video on how exactly Darth Vader obtained his first red lightsaber. After Darth Vader appeared in the final ever scene of the Clone Wars, many of us wondered where exactly Ahsoka and Rex's Republic cruiser landed after being ripped out of hyperspace by Maul. There are a few potential known locations in the current canon that could hold the answer to the question. So I've looked through all of your comments and picked out planets that you guys think could be the location of the crash, and I'm going to go through each of them to break down the possibilities. The first and most obvious is Hoth from The Empire Strikes Back. This is honestly the first place that popped into my mind when watching the episode, especially with the familiar faces that appeared. While the sight of Hoth snowtroopers, stormtroopers and imperial probe droids may make this look like Hoth, it is extremely unlikely that Ahsoka and Rex landed there. When Ahsoka and Rex landed on the moon, it contained a visibly temperate surface, with ice only remaining frozen at the poles. This would mean that when Darth Vader arrived on the moon and found Ahsoka's lightsabers, it would have been in the winter season of the moon. As far as we know in current canon, Hoth is a completely frozen planet for 100% of its rotation. A cool theory that has been floating around is that this scene is actually during The Empire Strikes Back, after Vader arrives on Hoth. The theory states that while the rebels are engaged in combat with the Imperial forces, Vader discovers the lightsabers of his old apprentice. The theory also states that the rebels built Echo Base out of the remains of the crashed Venator. Although this is a really cool theory, it is simply not correct. Echo Base was carved out of a glacier on the planet and looked nothing like the inside of a Republic cruiser. On top of this, Hoth is a planet, whereas the Republic cruiser crashed on a moon as stated in the episode. Although I'd love for this to be true, it unfortunately cannot be Hoth. The next possibility is Ilham, the sacred Jedi world, where many younglings would go to retrieve the Kyber crystal for their lightsaber. Ilham does have some very similar traits to the frozen moon that Darth Vader arrives on in the Clone Wars, including its icy surface and rocky structures, but it is again instantly eliminated by the fact that it is simply not a moon. On top of this, only a year after the Empire was formed, Ilham was claimed by the Empire. Not long after that, they began strip mining the planet for Kyber crystals as part of a large-scale terraforming project. The Empire used the Kyber crystals in the construction of the Death Stars, along with Jeddah. Ilham was also later used by the First Order as its brand new superweapon, Starkiller Base, clearly ruling it out. Another suggestion that people were making is that the Venator that crashed on Zepho in Jedi Fallen Order is the same one that Rex and Ahsoka crashed in. Once again, Zepho is clearly not a moon, and its surface is not similar at all to the one seen in the Clone Wars. Furthermore, we already know that the Venator that crashed on Zepho belonged to a female Jedi Master named Chiata. Chiata's Venator crashed into the planet Zepho, and Order 66 was executed shortly after the crash, with her clone troopers turning on her and her Padawan. Although they attempted to fight back, Chiata was fatally wounded, dying from her injuries. This, once again, definitely rules out Zepho as the location of the crash. Following that, I also saw some people saying that this could be the moon Pantora, which is home to the Pantorans that we saw earlier in the series. Unlike the others on this list, Pantora is actually a moon. Unfortunately, however, it is very unlikely to be this moon. Although the landscape is similar and prone to freezing over during the winter, Pantora is located on the opposite side of the galaxy to Mandalore and Coruscant. If you want to try to look through every planet that is on the Mandalore-Coruscant hyperspace route, I will link an interactive map down in the comments below. Overall, the most likely and I'd say almost definite answer is that the moon we see Darth Vader appear on in the Clone Wars is an unidentified moon that has not been seen anywhere before in Star Wars. This moon may feature in a Clone Wars Aftermath series if Dave Filoni ever wants to return to the time period directly following the end of the Clone Wars. So just to repeat, The moon that Darth Vader appears on is an unnamed moon that has never been seen before. So let me know if you have any other suggestions outside of the ones that I've compiled here. Let me know if you have any other suggestions for me to break down in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Hopefully Dave Filoni eventually comes out and confirms the exact name and location of this icy moon very soon. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more awesome Star Wars content. Cheers guys.